Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session for a client that was worrying about the welfare of their cat, particularly in the dark winter nights. And the key fear was that their cat, Roxy, could be injured while crossing the road, that they could be run over by a car or, killed or seriously injured. So what you're going to hear in this hypnosis session are suggestions that create beliefs that are empowering, that actually give a sense of reassurance that actually her cat has the ability to keep safe even if there are dangers around. And that's a useful belief system because that's the belief system that most people have when they think about family members. So if you're a parent, and you have children, you don't worry about your children all of the time because you're making an evaluation that they are safe and that they are able to make decisions proportionate to the risks around them. And because of that, you don't worry all of the time. You might worry only if there are very extreme circumstances where things are out of the ordinary. If you haven't heard from them at the usual time, you might start to worry at that particular point, but you don't worry all the time. So it was echoing and mimicking that useful belief system that her cat was competent and wise. And it also deals with future pacing as well. To imagine that the cat lives to a ripe old age of 20, and therefore the presupposition, if you can hold on to the thought of an old cat, is that it lived to reach that age, which again creates a feeling of reassurance and calm. So this is a niche session in the sense that very few people are going to have anxiety about cats. But if you look at it from a broader perspective, this is really a session that you can worry even if worrying itself doesn't do any good. But the key to resolving worry is not to try and think differently. It's to have a more useful belief that is the foundation of it all. To worry about someone really is the perception that they are vulnerable and that there is a high probability that bad things are going to happen. And if you have the belief that is a low probability and that they have the skills and capabilities to reduce and mitigate risk themselves, then anxiety can go down a lot. So find a comfortable place to get something from this session. If you don't have a cat, just think of an area of your life that maybe you're worrying too much. So the essence of this session, which is about changing the beliefs that underpin it, might give you some inspiration and ideas about some useful beliefs that might help you with your particular fears and anxieties. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a calm feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, Just allow any feelings of tension or stress to feel like it's leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and exhaling any anxiety, any worries. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to imagine going forward in time, perhaps 17 years or so. I want you to imagine a cozy sofa that you're sitting on nearly 2 decades in the future. I want you to imagine it's winter. Maybe there's clues to its winter because if you imagine looking through a window, maybe you see the darkness. I want you to imagine there is a cozy feeling in the home. And I want you to imagine that you can hear the gentle purring, the breathing of a very content, happy old cat. In fact, the cat has moved and is now resting on your lap. A fairly plump, old cat. And those hairs that used to be jet black now have a grey shade to them. And I want you to imagine staring down and looking at a smile on that old cat that tells stories of wild adventures in their youth. And I want you to think back of all those times that you needlessly worried about that old cat, wondering if they're going to return home, not realizing just how strong and capable, agile and adept this cat was. I want you to accept the idea that this is a glimpse of the future. And now that you know that this cat, Roxy, lives to 20 years old, how can you be concerned that something bad will happen before then? If you just accept the suggestion that this cat will have a long, adventurous life. And as you see Roxy sleeping on your lap, feel the wave of relaxation spreading over you. That you feel this insatiable desire to relax at the same level of relaxation that you see Roxy. Breathe just as slow. And just imagine that the purr of that cat sends you on a hypnotic journey into a deep relaxation. Breathing in and breathing out, letting go of any tension in your neck or your shoulders. Feeling a desire to yawn. Feeling a wonderful feeling of calm relaxation wash over you from your tip of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And then I want you to think backwards, all the way back to when Roxy was maybe just 2 or 3 years old. I want you to think of the worries that you used to have. And I wonder what would happen if we updated some of these beliefs and evaluations so that you're able to trust in Roxy the same way that perhaps you trust in those people that you make the evaluation that they can look after themselves. There are humans that you know that you don't worry about them all the time because you've made the evaluation that they have the skills, the aptitude, the temperament to handle whatever dangers and threats are around them. So I wonder what would happen if you started to believe that Roxy was capable, protected, and destined to live a long and happy life. So breathing in and breathing out, arms getting limp, loose and heavy. Feeling that relaxation expand. And I want you to get a sense that when you think of Roxy, I want you to imagine that she is surrounded by a protective bubble, guiding her safely through the dark nights. And I want you to imagine that, almost like you're an imaginary drone, you can follow Roxy around in those darker evenings and notice that each step Roxy takes is guided by her powerful instincts, keeping her out of harm's way. And as the days turn into nights, Roxy's natural abilities shine, making darkness her domain. Imagine that every night that Roxy is surrounded by an aura of safety, warding off potential threats. That her keen eyes, that are especially attuned to the night, are her guiding lights, ensuring her safety. And just imagine that she's a year wiser than she was last winter, and her wise nature has equipped her with the knowledge to stay clear of dangers, especially cars. And what if Roxy's bubble of protection is her superpower? Her instincts, a superpower, constantly shielding her. And I want you to imagine that you may be worried, but Roxy isn't. Roxy is destined to grow older, her fur becoming plusher, fluffier, her body getting bigger with each passing year, always safe and protected. And what if her vibrant black and white coat is not just beautiful, but also a beacon of safety in the night? There is a reason that zebra crossings are painted black and white. I want you to get a sense that this helps her to be noticed, because the darkness isn't a threat to Roxy. It's her playground, where she thrives and enjoys her cheeky adventures. And with each night that passes, she becomes more adept at navigating the world, always returning safely home. Imagine her in her older years, plump and content, her days filled with memories of safe nocturnal escapades. And even right now, the promise of another warm spring and vibrant summer lies ahead for her, filled with more days of fun and nights of safe exploration. Cats evaluate their surroundings. There are cats that are timid, scared, afraid to leave the home. And what if Roxy's confidence in the night mirrors your increasing levels of trust in her abilities to always stay safe? The world outside, even in the depth of night, respects Roxy's space, ensuring her safety. And every meow and purr from Roxy is a testament to her happiness and well-being, even during the coldest, darkest nights. Because you already know that she has a wise soul, one that understands the rhythms of the night, being able to be diligent and discerning, keeping her safe. And no matter how dark the nights get, Roxy's protective shield remains unbreakable. Her playful nature turns the night into a theme park for her adventures, all while ensuring her safety. So feel that trust in Roxy's capabilities growing inside you. Imagine where it starts and feel it expanding. And I want you to imagine that your trust in Roxy's capabilities exceeds the trust in the capabilities of those people that you don't worry about at all. Because from this point onwards, you will imagine that she is not just any cat. She's a nocturnal guardian, always taking care of herself. So imagine, in those dark nights when you haven't seen her for a while, rather than assuming the worst, you now assume the best. That Roxy is living her very best life, enjoying all the opportunities that only exist in those long, dark nights of winter. And in doing so, when you think of Roxy at night, especially in winter, you smile, knowing that your trust in her is because deep down you know she's having amazing experiences. So breathe in and breathe out, feeling that trust, having that confidence, willing to turn down the volume of that worrying voice, and instead think what a wonderful thing it must be to have the freedom of being a cat, to have these incredible adventures, amazing experiences, and then when you're older, just lie on someone's lap and dream about all of those wonderful memories you created. As you imagine seeing Roxy there on your lap, old, fluffy, still smiling while thinking about those wonderful adventures. So imagine stroking her and feeling that old fluffy fur on your fingers, and accept that this is her destiny, to grow old and happy, and that her wisdom means that she will take less risks as she ages, because she is a wise cat capable of making wise decisions. So breathe in and breathe out and feel like you're returning to the present, full of trust, acceptance, and a deep sense that Roxy will be fine. As I now count from 1 to 10, to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.